welcome to the show. We got actress Gloria Jean Robertson, whose credits include Western X, The Conduit, Cathedral Canyon, and the web series Strange Files. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's exciting to have been asked to participate.
1,000%. And so, again, we always try to get all kind of talents to talk about just kind of what makes them tick and how they get into a big, giant career. And so you've been acting since 1985, and you've been at all kinds of different places, from a 2012 Comic-Con to Phoenix Film Festival, and were the class of 04 from Ottawa University. What really truly sparked your interest in acting?
Well, I like to just tell people that I think that, as far as I can remember, even to being a little girl, that if there was ever anybody, more than two people or even just one person, and I had something to use as a prop or a broom, anything, it would become my microphone, or it would become my guitar, and I would sing and dance for whoever would listen. And they indulged me, and I guess I got bit, and ever since elementary school, I remember trying out for the plays because I would see the kids doing the plays in school, and I just always wanted to be up on a stage with people watching me, so I could, the way I felt when I was watching them. I just thought, why doesn't everybody feel like this, and how come everybody doesn't want to be doing that? Because it just seemed like real life to me, like that was what life was about, was just happiness and watching people enjoy themselves and become other characters. And also I remember watching the movie Mary Poppins when I was a very little girl, and that movie brought out so many emotions in me, like laughter and sadness when the lady was feeding the birds, and just dancing, singing, magic. And ever since then, I've wanted to act.
Very, very neat. And you worked with many people, including friend of the show, Sparkle Sojian, and just plenty of other talents in the Oklahoma, Texas, and Arizona, and the like film areas. How would you describe your process for how you just kind of approached just so many roles, and who were the main people who you kind of credit with just kind of encouraging you to kind of pursue this fun, creative route?
That's a good question. And I'm trying to think of who and who when I started, I started when I was young in community theater. I was in my young 20s in the community theater, and I just, like, as I said, I was still in love with the whole process of acting. And I remember the first role I ever had on stage was, I was the IRS woman in a show called You Can't Take It With You. And I remember the director had told us, it was really cool. The director said, what I want you to do, the person that I was talking to, which was the lead character, I want you to be very calm. And you, the IRS director, me, which is me, he wanted me to be very, very angry. And however more angry I got, he directed the other person to get more calm. And for me to get more angry, and for him to become more calm. And it was just magic. This director must have known what he was doing, because I remember I stormed off the stage, stomping my foot, pounding my fist on the table, which was my own touch, and the crowd went nuts. It was the very first opening of a theater in my hometown, Globe, Arizona, and we renovated an old courthouse into a theater on the third story.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah, it was incredible. And I felt really honored to be one of the first inaugural show that ever took place there. And I just really got hooked. And after that, many years went by, and I stopped acting because I was busy raising a family and stuff. And then I was really depressed. Life was getting me down. And I was like, there's got to be more to life than just this grind, and I had no joy. I mean, my children, of course, brought me joy, but you know what I mean? Nothing for myself.
Right.
And so
no me time.
No me time. And so because of this, I made a choice to enroll in some acting classes at the junior college next to my, close to my home. And oh my God, I was just like, it was like someone had given me, remember in Pulp Fiction when they put that needle in Uma Thurman's chest.
Wow, it's an image. So there you go.
Yeah, I live my life very vividly, and I think that helps me to survive through the dark and grinding times, which tend to drain a person. I think that imagination and creativity, if you lack that, then you can get sucked up and swallowed up into blackness and darkness and despair and depression, because it just seems like I'm getting a year older and nothing changes. I'm getting another year older and nothing changes. And so for me, the acting, once I went back into the acting in the theater, I came to life again. And I took so many courses: acting 1, acting 2, voice and diction, acting for television and film, theater 1, theater 2, introduction to theater in the classroom, et cetera, et cetera. And we did a little show in the Black Box Theater. And then after that, again, I had to take time off again because life was, going on. And then finally, what happened? Oh, this is my favorite story. A friend of mine remember MySpace? Do you remember MySpace? Are you old enough to know MySpace?
Oh yeah, but yeah, for other people coming in who are like, oh, it was always just Instagram and TikTok. Yes, there's this thing called MySpace, which was how it started out for many different music artists, as well as just people on the indie scene, and that was their go-to for uploading their tracks. If before we had Spotify and SoundCloud and Bandcamp taking off. But yeah, so
Oh yeah,
you were embracing it, and
yeah. Oh, I loved it. Remember, Tom? And what I miss is that you could put your own music and your own glittery little signs. If you're a woman, you miss the glitter.
your custom background and
yeah. Yeah, Facebook it sucks. No. Anyways, so I saw my friend put a post on Facebook, and he said they're making a movie called The Kingdom, and they
Peter
need
Berg.
extras. Yes, Peter Berg. They're making a movie called The Kingdom, and they need extras. And I saw his post. I kept seeing his post, and like I said, I was back in that grind again, like a roller coaster, ups and highs and lows, and I was in that darkness and everything, and I was just like, oh, I can't go, I'm not an actor, I can't go. And then I kept seeing the post. He kept asking for people for extras, and then the last post that he said, we need women with brown hair and brown eyes and brown skin. And I wrestled and had just nightmares and stuff because I was so intimidated to go, because Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Garner, these famous people. And I said to myself, I had a conversation, and I said, you know what, Gloria, you have all those things right now. And I said, I don't have a resume, I don't have a headshot, I don't have this, a monologue, this and that. But I had that inner dialogue that one should have when they're really trying to decide who they are and what they want to be and what they can bring, to the table. And I said, I got those things. I got the brown skin, brown eyes, brown hair, and I'm a woman. And I literally said this to myself, if you don't do this now, you shut up forever about it and never think about it again. And that was like seriously, it was like a voice that told me this.
Do or die.
Mm-hmm. Do or die. And I listened to it, and I went, and I showed up that morning on the set, and I saw my friend, and I went to go check in to sign in for the extra work and get your costume, which was all black, like a burqa. Is that what you call them? I'm seeing a burqa.
I think so. Yes.
I think so. And like all that was showing was our eyes. I mean, hey, I could have had purple hair or red hair or green. It didn't matter because we were covered up. And then that time, just being on the set, seeing the action and the explosions, and that day at lunch, it was a weekend, so we got served by like chefs with fancy white hats on and silver trays, and they were carving every type of beast. And I was bitten so hard this time. I was like, this is what I'm meant to do, is this. It was, and what I did next was I started asking people, because I was just signed up for one day. And I started asking people, how did you do this? How did you do this? How did you do this? And everybody had a different story as to how they got there. And I got a lot of information, started going to more mixers and such. But at the end of that day, I went to the extra person and I said, hey, can I come back tomorrow? And they're like, yeah, sure. I mean, I sweated so much just asking a simple question
Pick the right
that
brains and
yeah,
open the doors.
yes, and all they said was sure, like hardly even batting an eyelash. And then I was right, and I was there another week, and then I started noticing, and this is a good key for actors: notice, notice, notice. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention to everything that's going on around you, you know, and that's how, and like ask questions, you
Did
know.
you ever have to sometimes fill in the blanks for some actors thanks to watching a bunch of special features and everything? I had to do that once when I was on a film set and people were acting like the main star was so spoiled. I'm like, no, that's their job. They're here to recite the lines, and their
Mm,
stunt double and the coordinator are going to get the car back in place and make sure it matches the previous shot. It,
yes,
they shouldn't have to worry about parking a car or accidentally crashing it on the set or anything. They're there to
yeah.
run into the car and then say a simple line saying "You betrayed me," to the main star who's parallel to them. And so many people were just causing rumors and everything. And like, okay, guys, you're just beginning out here as extras. I think you should.
You don't know nothing. Just just do you. Don't give advice. Just you can ask questions. You can just be there and stay in your lane, know your place. But it's so funny because I had a friend of mine who's in that movie. He's in every freaking scene because he just would go crowd in front of everybody. He'd like go weave
He
and weave.
found a way to outpredict the editor and cameras.
He's in so many scenes. It's so funny. But yeah, so after that, I was, and then so after like a week being on there, I said to them, I said, I started noticing these kids that were there, and I was like, I'm going to ask him if I can bring my kid, because my kid, I go, he looks like that, like that. They were like playing people from another country. I can't remember the country that this was supposed to be.
Saudi Arabia.
But yeah, I was going to say yeah. And then so my son has like olive skin and dark hair and like greenish blue eyes, and so I asked, I said, can I bring my son? And they're like, yeah, sure. I'm like, what? And so I brought him. So like I made a few $1,000s and my son made $500,
Nice.
just by showing up every day and being fed and hanging around.
There's your college money. Keep it.
You're going to need it. No, he's good looking. So he's got to be a model because yeah, college is probably not going to happen for him.
Nice.
Yeah. But that's how I got started in that. And then after that, like I said, I started going to lots of mixers. And it was so hard because I'm very social, but within the circle that I know. And I had to force myself to go approach perfect strangers. And what I did was I went to the person who looked like the least social in the whole room, because I said to myself, if I'm social and it's hard for me to want to go approach a perfect stranger, how much harder is it for you when you look at a person that looks like they'd be kind of shy and introverted,
Mm-hmm.
And what I found out quite by accident, those were the directors and the writers. I didn't know. I was just going up to people who look kind of shy and quiet because I thought everybody wants somebody to come talk to them. And it gets tiring being the one to go and talk to somebody first. Everybody wants to be approached. Do you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
wants that just moment to kind of do an elevator pitch and say, I'd love to do this kind of work or what have you. What will you have me?
Yeah. And that's how I got my first role. Was that by me? Like, I think it was when I went to my first mixer and I met a guy, and because I went out to him and he liked what he saw, he said, well, yeah, I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. And so we did this thing, and it was a lot of fun. And from there, I just started growing and growing and going to more auditions. And there was a spell there, like between 2005 and 2000, like 2000, no, 2000, I'm sorry, like 2009 to 2012, I was getting every single role that I went out for. And I was stunned. I was like, what? It never occurred to me that I might have had some talent,
It's
I
like
just,
clockwork.
yeah, I got lucky, I mean, I don't know if it was luck or if I had what they were looking for at the time. And from there, I just,
A bit of both.
yeah, actually, you know what? You're right. It's probably a little bit of both. And I think a little bit of word of mouth. I think people start saying, have you worked with her before? How's Gloria's work? Have you worked with her? And they're like, oh yeah, she's professional. She shows up and she does what you ask her, and she's not afraid to ask questions or make suggestions, if it's the right time, meaning like if a line because like the written line, when you read a line on a script, it looks good when you read it as if you were reading a book, but sometimes when the actor tries to say it, it's very tongue twisty.
Yeah. So,
And it doesn't work. And you're like, oh, and you feel yourself, no matter how many times you've tried to say that line when you're rehearsing at home, you're like, I can't say this. I'm going to have to ask the writer if I can change it. And then they'll be like, and like, again, sometimes we fret asking that question, which we know in our heart is like right to ask. Sometimes you need to not fret or ask or wait so long to ask a question that it's like, I think that's your gut. I think that might be your instinct talking to you. What do you think?
I think you're onto a hunch. And I mean, it's kind of like the same whole thing is like, how do you want to get famous? Do you want to get famous by, busting people's integrity, or do you want to, show up at a premiere, lie on your Instagram, what you truly are, or do you want to just legit, put in the time, and then eventually someone says, hey, you've been so reliable, I'm going to give you a promotion up, that'll give you a boost, and, whatever.
I think that's what we all hope for. I think that's what we all hope for if we are really, truly dedicated and inspired and have talent. The talent can grow every single time, I believe. And I've been out of the game for a number of years because I became a teacher for 9 years, right? Mm-hmm. This is my 9th year, and I've been a teacher. And the funny thing is I started feeling that itch and that calling like a couple years ago, right? I was like, I got to get back into my acting. I got to get back into my acting, and I wasn't taking any steps towards it. It was just in my head, like that dialogue I talked about earlier, that dialogue, that the voice, I think maybe the voice, maybe your soul, yeah. maybe the fire in your belly, maybe telling me, when it says, I got to, it's not saying you got to, because then that's just what, schizophrenia.
It's a very good point. It's not easy to put it all together.
Yeah. And so I started saying, I got to get back. And then all of a sudden, guess what? Things started happening for me. Doors started opening. People were calling me. I wasn't calling anybody. People were calling me. And I got called to do that Strange Files. I did that last summer with Rick Vasquez. He has a part to do. Have you heard of the Last American Horror Show?
Kinda. I think I saw that a posting for it, but I didn't know.
Yeah, well, he and Michael Rodriguez both, and Sparkle Sujan, she works with Michael Rodriguez, I believe. And
in addition to her podcast, yeah.
Yeah, and I met her through the Strange Files. She was there. We were doing a Zoom meeting because I think different people were in different places, so we just did a Zoom. Like we did some reading, table read, and I just thought she was fantastic. When I first met her, I just thought, who is this lady? I've never seen her before. I've never heard of her before. But I like her energy. She looks like legit. What she's got going on is straightforward. You know what I'm saying? She didn't seem.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah, some people get full of themselves. Some people get ego, and they trip over their ego. And I like to feel, especially now, that I'm a pretty good reader of people. And just like I think my intuition, like that gut intuition from watching people as an actor, watching people, you can know how to create a character, know how to create a backstory by just watching Perfect Strangers. And when I saw Sparkle, I just thought, oh, that's a girl I'd like to meet someday, and have coffee, go to lunch, have champagne, whatever.
So do you kind of feel like both careers kind of parallel each other? Like you're taught by people in the film industry, and as a teacher, you're also kind of doing that. You're reading into who really wants to learn versus who wants to clown around, and it's just going to be given the billionth, please concentrate.
No. I think that's a really, really good analogy because, I mean, you have students who, that are dedicated to their learning, and it shows. It just shows by the way they watch you, right? Like the way I say I watch people, they watch you, and especially because I'm an actor. Boy,
what questions they ask? Is it going to be a wise ass answer? Or is it going to be a legit, well, no one's ever asked that before, because that's just their way of asking. That's what they want to know.
You know what they say more of the times than not, they say this instead of asking. And my kid, there's some kids crack me up. I got a 5th grade girl the other day, and she's a little bit overweight, this girl, and she she's too comfortable with me, and like she's too she came from another school, because I think she got in a lot of trouble at her other school. And one day she's like, Miss Robertson. I said, what's up? She goes, come here. I said, what? And she goes, can I ask you an odd question or a crazy question or whatever? I said, yeah, sure, go ahead. I teach 6th grade. She goes, can I call you Miss Booty Girl?
Okay.
Yeah, I know. And I didn't hardly bat an eyelash. And I looked at her. I put my finger on my lip, and I said, on my chin, I said, you're right. That is an odd question. And no, you can't.
Cut you down.
She just walked away. But I think kids try to get like a rise out of you. But at the same time, I think there's a level of trust in you being a teacher, that students feel like they can approach you with something like that. Had she tried to do it over and over, we would have had a conversation. But I think there's certain people, like I met her on one of her first days of school, and she looked kind of down and out.
You declined the invite to kind of stop it from being a habit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I just made the relationship with her right away. And again, I go back to being observant, as I think that's an actor's best tool, is to be observant of everything that's going on around you.
We'll return after these messages.
Do you ever find yourself thinking about who would win in a fight between Goku and Superman? Hi, I'm James Gavsey, and on the Who Would Win show, me and my co-host Ray ignore anything important happening in the outside world and debate fictional battles between characters from comics, movies, and video games.
We got a new show every week, and almost always am I the winner.
Yeah, not true, Ray.
In the past, we've discussed such matches as Captain America versus Darth Vader, Solid Snake versus the Iron Giant, classic matchups like RoboCop versus Terminator, and even the Muppets versus Sesame Street.
That one was crazy. So if you're a fan of geek culture and love a spirited debate, check out the Who Would Win show wherever you get your podcasts, or check us out at whowouldwinshow.com.
We let things pile up in the DVR, we add them to our queues, we wait for the DVDs and Blu-rays. We time shift. The Time Shifters Podcast. Sci-fi, horror, fantasy, superheroes, comedy, action, film, television, maybe some not-so-current events. Find us on iTunes or at timeshifterspodcast.com.
Cool thing about Blind Knowledge is we are in multiple countries. We are worldwide all across the globe. We are in the US, we are in the UK, we are in Canada, Germany, India, Japan. We're in Australia, y'all. BlindKnowledge.com. Now back to the feature presentation.
Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Naruto, all things that we love, all manga that were originally published in the legendary magazine Weekly Shonen Jump.
But not every series can run for 300 chapters and have a hit anime. This is David.
This is Jordan.
We're the hosts of Shonen Flop. Each episode we look at manga that ran in Jump that didn't quite make it.
We discuss what it did wrong, what it did right, how the series could have turned itself around, and ultimately, was it a flop or not?
Run all your favorite podcast apps, and you can find us at shonenflop.com.
Keep on flopping, floppers.
I mean, you can sit at a coffee shop and just kind of act like you're reading a paper or something, and just watch the people come and go. Watch how they get out of their cars. Watch how they go order their coffee. Watch how they drink it. I mean, I remember this one man. I wrote a little monologue about this one time. I was at a coffee shop, and this man, the way he was like drinking his coffee and reading his paper and licking his fingers and turning each page with such intent and such like, I'm important. Flip, lick, flip, read, lick, flip, read. And to me, I said to myself, that man is either like a complete neurotic or he's very important and he's got a deadline, And from there, I wrote a little page. That's another thing to do as an actor. You can do just a little creative writing piece, like 1 page long, about where's this person coming from? What are they thinking
like
right
the character
now?
backstory. It's funny you bring that up because I knew so many people who hated it, like in theater. I'm like, well, it makes sense, especially if the script keeps changing, at least. And you see sometimes the directors and actors get into a bickering dispute. And it's like, it doesn't matter. You guys are literally saying the same exact thing. It's just being said differently, but you're literally saying the exact same thing. And it kind of even makes, I guess this makes you kind of look more closely at movies and TVs now, is like who did their homework on staging, and versus you're watching it and it looks like it's a very big rush job. It's very over edited and there's some continuity issues. You just saw the same postman go up the stairs 5 different times, or the same person ring the bell at the front desk of a police station or a post office. And you're like, no one cared about this matching up at all. This was such a rush job or reshoot.
like so amateur, what my favorite thing is? First of all, I love all the things that I do watch for all those things, man. I do. But I bet you like to do this too. I like to watch, like, say, for instance, on Law and Order, to see if like the pulse is still, if their neck or chest is still moving, like when they get killed.
Oh God.
On Law and Order, yeah. I'm always watching, like you said, staging and stuff, like, and I watch real carefully because they usually try, like if it's a woman, they'll try to put like some hair across her neck to hide. You can see the blood, but it will be hiding the pulse point, And if it's a man, it might be like a hat or a briefcase or something strewn about the area.
Or it'll be off screen and you'll just see the body afterwards.
Yeah, right. Oh, I love to watch for that stuff.
Stunt performer.
My other thing is like when the boom mic is in the shot.
The boom mics, if you watch older 60s or 70s movies, this is before they had digital viewfinders and they could actually make sure that the stand-in or stunt double looked anything like the person. And it's like, yeah, no, they don't look anything like it. But this is before you could digitally, correct anything and find any blooper that should or shouldn't be there. Like you say, like a mic or a mustache that's just so fake.
Right. Oh my God. My favorite used to be when you would watch a movie and like in the cars, I'm like, where's the rearview mirror?
The rearview mirror, my favorite that my mother and sister like to do is like, oh, they're so on a closed car lot because they're just looking way too much at each other as opposed to on the road.
Like driving?
Yeah.
That's a good one too. It's like, are they going to crash or what? No. Look at this curvy road that they're on, but they're just looking directly at each other, like either having an argument or a heated discussion or something.
Multitasking.
No, well, are you a filmmaker? Is that your other passion thing besides the?
I do some indie film on occasion.
What's that?
I do some indie filmmaking on occasion. Yeah.
Yeah, because I looked up your IMDb and I saw, some different. You had quite a list of things going on there. I was like, oh, very cool, because
thank you.
Well, it's exciting to know that somebody wants to talk to you, and you're like, well, that's so exciting. I'm going to find out more about this person and see
what it was. I just try to be on everyone's level, man. I don't.
And so you so now, how did you find me? Did you just find me on a filmmaker's page?
You were posting in a lot of the same Facebook groups I was in, believe it or not.
And I wonder which friends we have in common. Well, you said Sparkle.
Sparkle. I was in a few of the other like kind of film buff kind of sites. People were just talking about movies and everything.
Oh yeah. And speaking of movies, are there anything out there worth watching right now that I need to go see?
Oh, man, that's hard.
Because I hear something about this metaverse.
Oh yeah, the Doctor Strange 2. I think you might like that. It's a little more organized than some of the other superhero movies. So I think
And then here's the Batman.
Everyone's hit it, like it or hate it on that one. That'll depend on what you kind of look for in a Batman movie. So that'll get back to you on that one. It's really, I've just been watching a little more TV. Definitely check out something like Midnight Mass or Bosch. There's some fun.
I heard about that, Bosch.
Oh, totally. There's all kinds of fun, very involving mysteries, and like you say, it is kind of fun to just kind of tune in and see which shows have it together versus which ones. They clearly had the first 2 episodes that were shot out of sequence just to get the pickup, and there's some continuity errors.
I do like to watch. I do like to watch that too. You know, my favorite movies are the ones that you forget that you're watching a movie, right?
Right. It just sucks you in. You're like, oh my God, how did 3 hours pass by? And I've seen this numerous times knowing it was going to be this amount of time.
And that's when you know that, or you know what, another real good judge of whether a movie is good, if you're at the movie theater and you have drank too much soda and ate too much popcorn, but you don't want to get up and go to the bathroom, that's when you know it's a really good movie.
You're right. You cannot miss it. Don't know when you'll get time to watch it again. So it's sit down and any suffering that comes with it, it's worth it just because you love the entertainment so much. Yeah.
But back to like any project or anything like that, as far as anybody who has inspired me or this or that, you know, in directing or this and that and the other. I'm trying to think. I've been killed so many times. Have you seen? You're gonna have to watch A Man Called Nereus. That's a fun one. Look up that one on my IMDb. I think you can watch that one on Tubi.
Nice. Yeah, that's where a lot of indie films are going now. It's Tubi.
Yeah, it's on Tubi. Look it up. A Man Called Nereus. I love my character and I love my scenes in this movie. And what I think I like about myself and is that I can be very sophisticated, very lovely, and then I can be like a caring mother woman, as I was in the movie, which is not on my IMDb, and I've been trying to argue with IMDb and the director there's a miscredit. They have me as Gloria Roberts instead of Gloria Jean Roberts instead of Robertson. And that's a movie that I did many years back, but I like it. It was a faith-based film, and I play a woman who, her and her husband are having problems, and they go on this big old long boring desert hike, and you know, that just shows my loving, caring side. I played this really devoted wife and mother, and so that just shows my range from being like this sophisticated lady all the way to this like drug dealing, pot smoking, gun shooting woman in Nereus. And yeah, and we just did I did a couple of shows recently with John Kessner, a couple of short with John Kessner, and he's like winning so many awards all over for this short he did called Hanging Buddy. Hanging cool. Buddy is, yeah, it's a really cool, it's about the story of a lady who decides she wants to transition to a male, and then it's a comedy. It's like dark comedy. As a matter of fact, he's won dark comedy award for that in several festivals, and it's not disparaging, or it's not any kind of making fun of anything or anybody, really, you know what I mean? It's kind of, I don't really know what to call it, but I was glad that he called me to be on this. And my actual daughter, we got her part in it, and then we did another one, and that one was called wait, let me go back to Hanging Buddy. That one's winning. It's won some awards in Switzerland, Rome, New York, nice. Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Toronto. I mean, he's winning awards in so many places. And one of our actresses, Didi Dene, I think is her name, but that's not her real name. She is, or was not even an actor. She was somebody who does work with him at the nuclear plant. And a lot of actresses.
Small world.
Yeah, right. I know a lot of actresses were turning down the part because they thought it was too risque, you know, with the topic. And he called me, and I had been out of acting for so long, and I was like, I trust John, and I'm going to do it. And
that's how you got to do it. It's like, he's not asking me to do anything that he wouldn't do, or that would just feel compromising or taking advantage of anyone. So it's like, what do we have to lose?
and exactly. So I did that, and then because of that, he did another short, and he put me and my daughter in it again. And this one was called Beverly Ever After, which is time travel, and I play the
I saw you had
Beverly.
that short coming up.
Yes. And then my daughter in real life played me as a young girl, as the young Beverly. So we play each other. So that was really cool. I got to kiss a really handsome young guy named Corey Presley. that was my second on-screen kiss ever in real life. It was very nice and tastefully done, but you know, we had to do this kiss because I was myself in the future, and he was himself young, and he sees me and he's like, wait, who's that? And I'm like, you don't recognize me? You married me. And he's like, wait, what? And so anyways, yeah, so that was fun. But the funny part was the guy that was in the show too, the actor, his name's Gloria Roland, and he and I have done several projects together going way back. He played in there. He played the young guy as the old guy in the future, right? He was my first screen kiss because one time he played Cupid and I played Cupid's girlfriend and we kissed and it was so cute. So that's my second on-screen kiss. I've never had like a passionate love scene yet. Notice that I say yet.
Yet. All good. And
so fun.
That's cool. And I see he worked on a movie I had actually seen called 1111 that starred Charles Baker from Breaking Bad.
Who's that? Gloria Roland?
Kestner, your director.
Oh, John, what did he do?
He was like a production assistant on this one film that had Skinny Pete from Breaking Bad as one of the cast.
It was the stripper movie, right?
I think so.
I think it was the Stripper's Guide to the Galaxy or something.
No. It's called 1111. It's like some other kind of wacky comedy. Hold up.
I wonder if that might not be the one about the strippers.
Yeah. No, this is about a UFO fanatic who thinks he's been abducted.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I knew he had worked with somebody. Yeah, of course. I mean, John's got good stories. If you've never interviewed him, you need to interview him. Have you ever talked with him?
I might have to now.
On your list. John's a character. Man, he's funny. He's funny and very talented. I mean, he's been doing this for a long time. And like you, working the graveyard thing, and he sleeps during the day, and then he has time to live his regular life, in the later hours. And then, all night he gets to do his writing and stuff, And I know he's working on another project right now, which I haven't auditioned for, and I haven't put out for it yet. I've just been.
I trust you'll get your chance.
Yeah. My friend Michael Harrelson sent me a message to tell me to audition for that. Do you know Michael Harrelson?
I'm not. I'll have to check him out.
You gotta write him down. He's a character. These are my homeboys.
Homie.
Yeah, they're my. Michael, I've known forever and a day. He's like one of the very first people I ever met in acting, and he was always looking out for me. And I'm sure he's looking out for a lot of actors and actresses. He does, but it always felt special when he put my name on a post, like when an audition would come up, like to tag me, so I would know to go look. But
that's the kind of friends you need, because I see other people is like they would tag each other, but it was just to promote their things. Like, come on, man, just do something nice every once in a while. Compliment people, remind them that they're doing inspiring work, and other people really look up to them. Let them know they're welcome in whatever industry they're in, instead of just, oh my God, I'm going to tag every one of my friends list to come see my, movie or whatever.
That gets really yeah.
It gets awkward really too good. If you're inviting people who damn well audition for it and you turned them down vaguely or whatever. It's like, and you never ever, not even like even one single picture or poster, never congratulate them on anything. Right. You've never been involved in their life, and just now you're asking, come hang out at my mixer in Louisiana or my pool party in Austin. It's like, okay, I don't even know you, dude. So why are you inviting everyone? I know, totally. And you know what? After I did the thing with Rick Vasquez, then my girlfriend, Kathy Blaze Jefferson, she's a model and a consultant, image consultant, and an actor. And I think she also is like she has a nonprofit for her daughter. Oh, cool. It's called Brits something or other. I can't think of the name of it on the top of my head right now. But she has her own TV show. Like she did a season last year, and she's doing what you're doing. She's interviewing different people from all walks of the entertainment life. And you got to get in touch with her too. And I'm going to give her your name. And too kind. Yeah, I like to do that. That's how you. It just became a networking event in addition to. That's how you make connections, because. Then what happened after I told you I did the thing with Rick Vasquez, the Vision X, right? That looks like it's going to be cool. And then I did
the thing with John called Hanging Buddy. And then I did the other thing with John called Beverly Ever After. We did that a few months ago. And then something else happened. I met a guy, an actor from another state, who contacted me, and we started talking. And then I started getting a whole bunch of friends from his list, because I think they saw me on his friends list. And I'm like, that's good. That's okay, because I can travel. I'm a school teacher and I'm off all summer. And I'm
Nice.
willing to I'm willing to travel to
hire the
do
babysitters.
work.
I'm out of town, guys.
I'm done. Actually, I just got to hire dog and pig and turtle sitters, because I have a couple of pigs, 3 dogs, and a turtle. So.
Oh, nice.
I know.
Just gotta make sure the pets are fed on time then.
Yep. I got the neighbor for that. And so what's the next latest thing I've got my IMDb page. I put that, I reactivated that, and I was so excited because like in 1 week I went up like 400,000. And then the next week after that I went up 100,000, and I was up to like 100,000, right? I was like, wow, I'm only 995,000 away from 999,555 away from like Brad Pitt.
There you go. If any title makes an impact too at a festival, or if it's a feature film, then everyone gets a boost just from being in it.
Yeah, and you just have to be a positive, like a half glass full thinker. You know what I mean? Not like. And here's another thing that I have advice for anybody who wants to be an actor. Is for instance, when I started acting, I was so happy, and I was sharing with my friends and my family and coworkers. I'm like, oh my God, I had so much fun this weekend. You know what I did? We filmed a short film for this film challenge. Everybody has to make a film in like 48 hours.
There you go.
Somebody picks the actors, and then they pick a prop, and they pick a line of dialogue. And it's so fun. You stay up so late, trying to do this, and, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, did you get paid?
It is annoying encountering snobs like that, knowing damn well that everyone's going to have to do a freebie and here or there. And like you say, I mean, it doesn't matter as long as you get some good footage and someone makes use of it. And you can the best ones are the ones who don't just throw everything away after hours on end, and do have some creativity, saying, hey, how about I remaster this and send you a better take of this for your demo reel or what have you, instead of just I did it just that one time and it has no more words. I'm like, you can always retitle it or recut it, submit it to another festival.
I have so many little films that I did for that, because that's how I got myself out there, was doing the little short film challenges. That's how I got there. And then, so don't listen to anybody if they're asking you, did you get paid?
Right. Don't work with naysayers who don't have any imagination or.
And look at their life, and the first thing that you should say when they ask you that is like, look at you, Mr. Johnny 9 to 5. I mean, you wear the mask of dread on your face every day. It's like, how about a congratulations, or that's nice, or wow, good for you. I wish I would do that. How do I do that? You know what I'm saying?
Instead of being a Debbie Downer. Yeah.
Or a Donald Downer or whatever. Yeah.
There you go, Donald.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, how they say, if you do what you love and you love what you do, it's not work. You know what I mean? It's and totally. if you do it well, eventually, like you said, you do your steps, then someday somewhere the right door will open if your heart is in it, and if you keep your
show that you're a human being. Just a pat on the back or a thumbs up can also do the trick, and
don't be a right, a DI word, DIK word. and so right now where I'm at is I'm getting new headshots coming up in about a couple weeks. I'm getting new headshots. So I'm real happy about that, because it feels exciting to me, because you've contacted me. An actor from another state contacted me about, talking about parts in or a part or whatever. And
every little bit matters. I always try to even ask an indie filmmakers, like, how do you get through snobbery? How do you realize, you're not going to look like a giant $1 million movie, but you can still make a very theatrical looking movie and utilize the internet or a festival or a contest, to your advantage.
Absolutely. I think that everybody, can make a short film if they really want to, if they I mean, it's
You
not
should
going to
know
be
within
easy.
minutes, even just of asking certain questions, like what do you want to do with this when it's all said and done? And if there's, I don't know, then maybe you don't want to waste your time. If
Yeah.
they say, hey, I just thought I'd try this out, I've got a story with an important message that's not going to divide anybody, that's going to just really be a crowd pleaser, or I got just free to use property and I feel we could film a Western here. Right?
I know, right? I mean, everybody has a little story inside them that they want to get out. And I even have a couple of projects, and I'm not a writer. I mean, I bought the book Save the
You could
Cat.
still
That's
come up with a story and someone else
Yeah.
can write it for you.
Exactly. Like I told John, I said, John, I have something I want you to write. I'm going to give it to you. I want you to write it for me. I don't know how to write. And to me, it's something funny enough that if it was made into a little short, like in a weekend, it could be made into something feature. Like if somebody else liked the story and wanted to buy it, I think that's how a lot of films are made. They start out as shorts and then they get
They
bought.
enhance it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then really made into other bigger projects. But right now, I really just want to finish my school year, which is Friday. This Friday, I'll be finished with my school year. I want to finish my school year, just kind of breathe, relax, and
Take it in steps.
go to California, go to the beach, take a little, get in the water, and like I said, get my headshots, and then start like pounding it hard. And I'm even thinking about going to Los Angeles for the summer and checking in some extra work. I've always wanted to do extra work in Los Angeles.
Nice. And
have you ever?
I've done it in a few different places, but yeah, I think they're still looking to cast extras, and there are ways to go around the whole, looking for only people in the state. In certain castings, there's always exceptions to every rule, and like you say, it is cool to kind of see what new things are happening, and even which stories, like you say, does this only work as a short? Does it work better as a web series? If you added 40 extra minutes, would it make a feature, or would it just get too convoluted, bogged down? It is cool to experiment with all that, like you say, and keep just kind of outlining it. And any ideas that you don't use for that project, you just write them down to use later.
Yeah, I would totally 100% like to do that. And another thing that we talked about, and you mentioned like the me time, right? No, there's not enough me time.
Don't fuel the brain. If you don't do a breather, like you say, then everything just, it's just kind of like, there's no such thing as too little sleep. If you don't get any sleep, then you're always catching up to get more sleep.
Well, life is just dreary if you're not dreaming. You know what I'm saying? If you're if you are not, if you're not dreaming like while you're awake, then what you need to do is stop the dreaming and start the doing. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm at that. Is precipice a good word? What does that mean? It sounds so lovely.
Yeah, I think you could just say kind of the threshold of imagination, maybe.
I think it means something fantastic, and I'm going to stick with it. Hope it's nothing.
Okay, let's go.
Hope it's nothing nasty, because it sounds like it could be. But
doesn't every word have a double meaning nowadays?
nowadays it does. Yeah. So I find myself again, like so many times, where I have been in the darkness, like the darkness and then the light, the darkness and the light, with my not acting. Right now I'm at the acting stage, but I have to take it to that next oomph level. I've got to punch it up, and I feel like I probably got to just go out to California and just get a hotel or stay with a friend and say, listen, show me where the studios are. I'm going to walk on that set and try to get some extra work, because then from there, you know what I would love to do? Get like a walk-on part with a line,
Yeah. Boost that star meter even more.
No, I'm serious. I have dreams and goals.
I believe you. I'm not trying to take any of that away from anyone, because it is certainly possible. It's just, like you say, just picking the right kind of casting director who can maybe even just talk to the director saying, hey, there's this person who's really is very theatrical, who would really work for you.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I've been doing too lately? I have been watching some movies, and I'm going to start taking note of the directors who are doing the movies that I enjoy, So when I get to LA, I can find out where are these casting directors, the directors, and find out
All
how
the
to get.
Junie, Laurie Johnsons, and Mary Jo Slayers of the world. Perfect.
See, I don't know them. See, now I haven't done my research.
Those
enough
are
yet.
casting people.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry,
So,
they casted a bunch.
yeah, I want to look at the directors of the films and then find out who the casting director is first from watching those type of films, so I can say that's the kind of film I want to be in. That's the kind of role I want to be in. I have limits. I mean, when I did that drug dealer, the drugged out lady in A Man Called Nereus,
Mm-hmm.
they wanted me to smoke a little crack pipe. Well, not really smoke the crack, but pretend like I'm smoking a little crack pipe.
Simulation, and you're like,
I just said
no,
no.
I don't like that image.
I did. I told him, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I never want my image, my face anywhere that could be construed as anything, negative like that.
It's a tough predicament because you're not sure how much you want to do justice for the role, show your range versus you fear that someone might think that's how you really are, and so it's a tough sacrifice as an actor.
I compromised though, and I smoked a bong. I compromised because I was like, okay, I'll do that because like people all over the world smoke marijuana. I'm not saying I smoke marijuana. I'm just saying people all over the world smoke marijuana, and does not have the same stigma as like a crack pipe or crack. And so they were okay with it. And I was surprised because I was like thinking, what if they just tell me no?
Sometimes the simplest things aren't discussed prior to that, and everyone's got to make sure, your communication is 100%.
And so when I did that, it worked out right. It just, hopefully, like I said, that you'll take time to watch that. And
oh, totally. I'll do my best. And that's cool that you can go. Well, and it's also cool that you can kind of go with the flow, kind of.
I do. I will do anything. One time they shot me, and I just had to fall down I'm like, where's my mattress? And they're like, no mattress. And I'm like, they shot me in the back, and I fell, and I'm like, what the hell did I do that for? I killed myself. You know what I mean? So I like to think I'm flexible, and I'm not too afraid to like look really ugly on screen. And I love to be sophisticated on the screen. I will do anything except I won't play like a child molester or anything gross like that. I have my you know what I mean? I won't play like a devil worshiper. I won't play like a Satanist or like a pedophile, or you know what I mean? I could probably play a murderer. You know what I mean? If it was like,
there's a limit to what villain you'll play.
like if I had to murder somebody for revenge, if they kidnapped my child or something, like Liam Neeson, like, if I'll find
and that's
you,
okay. And because like you say, I mean, you're also, if you can't believe that you could play a character like that, then maybe you don't want to play that part. So just spare everyone the time and effort,
Yeah. And there's roles like that for people. And there's people out there who want to watch those kind of movies. And like, I don't, I mean, let's just say this. If somebody contacted me and said, we're doing a horror movie and, blah, 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 blah. Like
playing an evil witch and sacrifice someone, or you better be the guy doing the exorcism or something,
Exactly. Or I could be like, say, for instance, I could be like the detective, who comes to investigate. I could
shoots the main character
then. I could be the jailer, but I don't want,
maybe you could play the judge that getting to the life.
I'd be a good Judge Judy. I had a student one time. I was so strict. He told me, he goes, "You're like Judge Judy." And I said, "Thank you. That means I'm doing my job right." Kids can't get to me. And when they can't get to you, you should see the look on their face when they just open their mouth wide like,
kids say the darndest things.
You say the darndest things, yeah. But anyways, that's me in a nutshell. I hope I'm not too boring with what I'm saying. I'm trying to like think about what's acting to me, and I hope I've explained to you, like what
totally.
It means. It means everything to me. It really does. It means everything to me. Nothing else comes close besides, well, of course, my family is first, but I mean, nothing on a personal level outside of a personal relationship with like a partner, and of course your family and friends. Outside of that, nothing is as important to me as that. And I hope to, create, be part of good creations, good productions going forward. And, that I can bring something juicy or exciting or interesting, to the table and, and see where I end up at,
1,000%.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up